Do you ever feel like you know all the grammar rules, but when you open your mouth, nothing comes out?
Oh, absolutely. It's like your brain freezes up right before you order coffee, you know?
Exactly. That feeling of, I have to be perfect, and then you just say nothing.
Or you speak, but you're so slow because you're checking every single verb tense. It's exhausting, right?
It is, and that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to use English for motivation and productivity.
We want to help you stop focusing on perfection and start focusing on communication.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo.
Welcome to the English Blend. We're here to make learning English realistic and fun.
Today's topic is super important, moving past the grammar block to achieve fluency.
We're going to give you practical steps and some very useful phrases.
Exactly. So grab your coffee and let's get started. We're diving deep into why being good enough is actually the best strategy.
Okay, let's start with a definition. We hear the word fluency all the time, but what does it really mean?
Most people think fluency means zero mistakes, perfect accuracy.
Yes, but that's actually accuracy. Accuracy means correct grammar, correct pronunciation, the right word choices. It's about being perfect.
And accuracy is important, of course. We all want to sound good.
But fluency is different. Fluency is about the flow of communication. It's about being able to keep the conversation going.
Fluency means that even if you make a mistake, the listener can still understand your message. You get your point across.
That's key. Think about your native language, Leo. Do you speak perfectly all the time?
Never. I make mistakes all the time, especially when I'm tired or just speaking quickly with friends. I pause, I use filler words. Sometimes I misuse a preposition.
Exactly. Native speakers are not 100% accurate, but they are highly fluent. They don't stop talking because they missed a comma or a past tense verb.
So our goal today is to help shift your mindset from accuracy first to fluency first.
We want communication to be your main priority, especially at the A2 and B1 levels.
Let's imagine a situation. You are at a cafe. You want to order a specific pastry.
Scenario 1, you try to remember the perfect structure. Had I perhaps seen the available dessert which I would like to purchase?
And the waiter is just standing there, confused, waiting for 20 seconds.
Scenario 2, you point and say, that one, the chocolate one. It looks very good. Can I have that?
Maybe not perfect grammar, but did you achieve your goal?
Yes, that's fluency in action. You communicated successfully. Productivity achieved.
Fluency equals communication, not perfection. Remember that. It is the most motivational idea you can adopt.
And we often find that chasing perfect accuracy actually hurts fluency. It causes that block we talked about.
This block happens because people are afraid of making mistakes. The fear of grammar blocks fluency.
We spend so much time studying rules. We know the difference between the present perfect continuous and the past perfect.
But when we have a real conversation, all those rules rush into our head at once.
We try to apply the rules in real time. It's too slow. Conversation moves too fast for that.
It's like driving a car, right? When you first learn, you think about every gear shift and every mirror check. But once you're fluent in driving, you just do it automatically. You don't think, now I must move my foot 30 degrees to press the brake.
Learning English should be the same way. We need to move the grammar from the conscious brain, the rule book, to the automatic brain, the habit.
And that only happens through repetition and practice, even if the practice includes errors. Errors are just part of the learning process.
I had a student once, a fantastic engineer, very smart. His job required him to explain complex concepts in English.
High stakes. That sounds stressful.
Yes, but every time he started explaining a diagram, he would pause for 5 seconds to check if his article usage was correct. The diagram, a diagram.
5 seconds is a lifetime in a professional meeting. The listeners start to wonder if he forgot what he was saying.
Precisely. We worked on his mindset. I told him, if the listener understands the diagram, you win.
If the listener understands, the grammar mistake is just background noise.
We have to embrace the messy middle. It's okay to sound messy for a while.
Think of it this way. Grammar is the skeleton of the language, but communication is the muscle. You need the skeleton, but you need the muscle to actually move and do things.
If you wait until the skeleton is perfectly polished, you'll never move. You'll just stand still.
The moment you accept that you will make mistakes today, your speaking speed will instantly increase. It's magical, you know?
It removes that pressure. We are aiming for comprehensibility, not dictionary perfection.
Let me share a quick story about why context and flow beat grammar every time. This is a bit of a cultural note, too.
Please do. I love these stories.
So I was traveling in Italy a few years ago. My Italian is rudimentary, very beginner level.
A bit like A1 English speakers trying their best?
Exactly. I needed to catch a very specific train to a very small town. I went to the ticket office.
Okay, high-pressure situation. Trains don't wait.
I tried to ask the agent in perfect Italian, but I forgot the verb conjugation for to buy in the future tense. I tried 3 different versions.
Oh no, that feeling of struggling to find the right verb?
The agent just looked at me, slightly confused, because my grammar was totally inaccurate. But then I pointed at the map, pointed at my watch, and said, train, today, need, fast?
Very basic, lots of chunks of language.
She immediately understood. She smiled, pointed to the next departing time, and said the price. I got my ticket.
That is the perfect example. Your grammar was wrong, but your meaning was totally clear because of the context, in the confidence in just getting the words out.
If I had stopped to pull out my phrasebook to conjugate the verb perfectly, I would have missed the train. The consequence of perfectionism was failure to communicate.
The moral of the story is, don't let the small mistakes stop the big action. The action here is communicating.
Use your body language, use the words you know, and trust that the listener wants to understand you. Most people are helpful, right?
Absolutely. Now that we've set the mindset, let's move into the practical productivity tips. How do we train our brains to prioritize fluency?
We have 3 core tips that will help you transition from grammar checking to natural speaking. These are steps you can implement today, immediately, to boost your productivity in English.
This sounds big, but it's actually simple. You need to feed your brain massive amounts of English input.
Think of input as fuel for your communication engine. You need to be consuming English constantly.
This means massive listening and massive reading. Podcasts, YouTube videos, simple books, news articles.
And don't just listen for comprehension, listen for patterns. How do native speakers actually link words together?
If you hear a phrase like, I'm heading out now, 50 times, your brain stops analyzing the grammar of I'm heading and just registers it as one useful chunk.
Exactly. The more you listen, the more those natural structures embed themselves, bypassing the need for conscious grammar calculation. This is essential for productivity.
And the output part? You need to use the language you are consuming.
Even if you were just talking to yourself, describe your day while you walk to the bus stop. Use that simple English you heard on the podcast.
Don't wait for a perfect moment or a perfect sentence. Just output, output, output.
Make it a daily ritual. 5 minutes of input, 5 minutes of output. High productivity doesn't require hours. It requires consistency. This is our favorite practical hack for overcoming the grammar block. We called it the 3-second rule.
It's very simple. When someone asks you a question or you need to reply, you have 3 seconds to start speaking.
1, 2, 3. Speak. You must launch your answer within 3 seconds, no matter how imperfect it is.
This forces your brain to bypass the deep grammatical analysis layer. You use the words that are immediately available in your head.
If you wait longer than 3 seconds, you fall into the trap. You start reviewing verb tenses, you start looking for the perfect vocabulary word.
And then you freeze. The conversational flow dies.
This rule prioritizes speed and flow, fluency, over accuracy. It's a great exercise.
Try it with a language partner, or even when ordering food. Force yourself to speak before you have time to overthink it.
What if I say something wrong when I use the 3-second rule?
That's fine. The goal is communication. If they look confused, you can clarify, but at least you started the conversation. That's a huge motivational win.
Start small. Practice asking simple questions quickly. How are you? What time is it? Don't plan the answer, just react.
Our third tip is all about efficiency and productivity in learning. Stop memorizing individual vocabulary words.
Instead, learn phrases or chunks of language.
A chunk is a group of words that naturally go together. For example, instead of learning the verb to look, learn the chunks I'm looking forward to, take a look at, or look out.
Why is this more productive? Because when you speak, your brain doesn't have to assemble the sentence word by word.
It pulls out the whole phrase, the whole chunk, already assembled and ready to use. It's much faster.
It saves you from worrying about prepositions too. If you learn I'm interested in history, you don't need to check the rule for in. It just comes naturally with the phrase.
When you hear English, try to write down groups of words that stick together, not single nouns or verbs, but the whole structure.
This is how native speakers talk, you know? We don't build sentences from scratch. We combine chunks we've heard thousands of times.
Learning chunks is the most productive way to increase your fluency speed. It's like using ready-made Lego pieces instead of having to mold the plastic yourself every time. Now we want to focus on 3 phrases that are incredibly useful in English, especially when you are trying to be productive and manage stress. These phrases will help you navigate professional and everyday life, and they relate perfectly to our theme of communication over perfection.
This phrase means to successfully communicate your intended message, even if you don't use the most perfect grammar.
Get your point across. It's all about effectiveness.
Example: my presentation wasn't perfect, but I think I got my point across about the budget increase.
See? The speaker admits imperfection, but confirms success in communication.
Another example: even with my basic English, I managed to get my point across to the taxi driver and he understood where I needed to go.
This phrase validates the fluency first mindset. It says communication success matters more than grammatical success. This is a great phrase for talking about motivation and productivity when you feel stuck.
To hit a wall means to reach a point where you cannot make any more progress or you are too tired to continue.
It's a very visual idiom. You're running forward and then, bam, a big brick wall stops you.
Use it when you are studying. I studied grammar for 2 hours, but then I suddenly hit a wall and couldn't concentrate anymore.
Or at work. We were so productive this morning, but after lunch, the whole team hit a wall and we had to take a break.
A key to productivity is knowing when you've hit a wall and knowing when to take a break instead of forcing yourself to continue poorly.
This phrase is perfect for reducing the stress and fear of making mistakes.
It's not the end of the world. It means that a mistake or a negative event is not as serious or disastrous as it might feel.
It's about perspective. You make a mistake in English. Is the planet going to stop spinning? No.
If you misuse a past tense verb in a meeting, you can tell yourself, it was a mistake, but it's not the end of the world. I'll try again.
This phrase encourages motivation because it minimizes the consequence of failure.
Example: oh no, I forgot the word for stapler. Response: hey, don't worry, it's not the end of the world, just point to it.
It helps you move on quickly, which is essential for maintaining fluency and speed.
Let's just quickly review the core idea again because it is so vital for learners at the A2 and B2 level.
The sources tell us that we need to keep this conversation friendly and repetitive to maximize learning and hit that long-form content length.
Absolutely. We are focusing on making English part of your productive daily routine.
Think about your goals. If your goal is to negotiate a contract, the client needs to understand the terms, right? They don't need a masterclass in English verb conjugation.
So, prioritizing that communication, prioritizing getting your point across means you are being highly productive.
If you spend 5 minutes editing one sentence in your head before you speak, that's 5 minutes of lost productivity.
Instead, spend 3 seconds saying the sentence imperfectly using our 3-second rule. The productivity boost is immediate.
And when you start incorporating those ready-made chunks of language, you become faster immediately. You stop having to invent the language.
It's about building a library of useful phrases instead of a library of isolated words and grammar rules. Both are needed, but the chunks help the fluency muscle develop faster.
Let's revisit the idea of grammar mistakes. We all make them.
If I accidentally say, I goed to the store, instead of I went to the store, everyone still understands the past action of traveling to the store.
The meaning is preserved. The mistake is noticed, maybe, but the function of the language is successful.
And remember, if you hit a wall and feel too tired or stuck, it's a sign to take a break or switch up your study method. Don't push perfection when you're exhausted.
Be kind to yourself. If today's speaking wasn't perfect, remember it's not the end of the world. There's always tomorrow.
The motivation comes from seeing yourself communicate successfully, not from getting 100% on a grammar test. If you can successfully order food, ask for directions, or chat with a colleague, that's success. That should motivate you to keep practicing.
So, massive input through listening, using the 3-second rule, and learning chunks. Those are your keys to unlocking natural, productive English speaking.
We want you to feel confident even with your imperfections. Those imperfections show you're trying, and that's the most important thing.
That was a really productive discussion, Leo. We covered a lot of ground today.
We sure did. Let's quickly summarize for our listeners.
Remember that fluency is communication flow, not grammatical accuracy. Stop checking every tense before you speak.
Use the 3-second rule to force yourself to speak quickly and embrace those imperfections.
Focus on massive input and learning in chunks to build automatic language responses.
And practice using those productive phrases like get your point across, knowing when you hit a wall, and reminding yourself that mistakes are not the end of the world.
We hope this helps you change your mindset and makes your English learning feel much more motivating.
Remember, consistent, small efforts are always more productive than waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect sentence. Practice every day.
Thank you so much for joining us on the English Blend today.
Next week, we're going to be talking about how to use English for networking and making professional connections.
That's going to be a fun one. Don't miss it.
Yes. See you in the next episode of The English Blend.
Bye for now.
See ya.